Hi everybody. Today we are going to talk about 5.1a factor polynomials by grouping. So we are going to factor polynomials by grouping and one more or difference of squares. So now let's start with do now. So I'll give you about 4 minutes. Can you do it now? Okay, let's go over together. So f of x is x minus 1. And number one is fx to the third power, fx of q. How do you do it? So this is x minus 1 to the third power is x minus 1 times, x minus 1 times, x minus 1, right? Then we multiply these two x minus 1s, first the two of them, and then later with this x minus 1 again. So let's do this one first. Like this, right? You FOIL it, x squared minus x and plus 1. Now, before you multiply, you have these like terms, you better to combine first, right? So minus x is minus 2x. So x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then times by x minus 1. It's not FOIL because we have three terms here. But still same concept, you multiply one by one. So this, you have three terms here, two terms here. How many times you are going to multiply? 6 times. Each term have 2 times here. So 3 of them, 2 times each. So x squared times x is what? X cubed, right? X squared times minus 1 is minus x squared. And then you move to the negative 2x and do the same thing like this. So minus 2x times x is minus 2x squared. Minus 2x times minus 1 is plus 2x. Minus 2x times minus 1 is, we are done with the minus 2x, right? Then we move to 1. 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Are we done? No, we need to combine like terms again. So this is like terms, and here also like term. So minus 1 here, if you don't see any coefficient, that's 1. So minus 1, minus 2, if you combine, minus 3, and 2, 1, if you combine, positive 3. So x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. Let's go do this one. H of x squared. So as you know, x squared minus 5 square. Square means you multiply itself twice. So x squared minus 5 times x squared minus 5. And it will FOIL, but look at the powers. Be careful with the exponent. So x squared times x squared is when you multiply, same thing. What do you do with the powers? You add the powers. So 2 and 2, if you add x to the fourth power, right? X squared times minus 5x squared minus 5x squared minus plus 25. Do we have like terms? Yes. Minus 5 give you minus 10. So final answer is like this. All right, let's go to the today's lesson. Before we do the lesson, can you think about what do you notice and wonders? And this is our lesson today. So look at this. You have 4 terms and start with third power, x cubed. Then mostly we are going to factor this by grouping. Mostly I said, not all the time, but mostly. So how do you group? These two terms, we should put them in order first. Order of the powers, right? Exponent. 3, 2, 1, 0 power. X to the 0 power is here. for the numbers. Just remember, imagine that you have x to the 0 power. So each two terms, these two terms you group, and these two terms you group it. And then factor each group. So let's see. Do you have any common between these two terms? X and power, the smaller power is a common factor. All right. So x squared is a common for this. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times minus 7 is minus 7x squared. How about this one now? What is the common? 4, right? So when you take a 4, not only 4, there's a minus. You should remember that you should be careful with this minus. So when you take out the 4 and then so imagine if you do it backward, so when you distribute, you should become plus 28, right? When you distribute. So that you should keep it in mind. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times what is positive 28? So there will be minus 7. If you factor these two groups, now you see in these two groups, there's one more common, right? What is the common? X minus 7, x minus 7. Then you take this common out as a factor again, and then the rest of them you write down in the other factor. So like this, x minus 7 is a factor, and then in the other factor, you put this x squared and minus 4. All right? And we are almost done. But you need to now take a look at this one. Because this is a quadratic equation again, x squared minus 4. Is it factorable or not? If you can factor it, you should continue. If you cannot factor, you can stop. But x squared minus 4 is factorable, right? X squared minus 4. 4 is 2 squared. So a squared minus b squared form. Then it's a minus b, a plus b, x minus 2, x plus 2, right? So your factor is like this. Then you completed the factoring. Do you understand? Good. This is a factor by grouping. But if you see the right side, so by difference, this is very similar from this one. We already did is here, so that's why. So it's very simple. But x to the fourth power is here, and the 4 is a 2 square. Then a square minus b square form we are going to use by difference of squares, but x to the 4 is, what square is x to the fourth power? What? Think about, let's say this is a square, then what is a? Right? What square becomes x to the 4? So when you find out, let's say this is a square again, then what is a? How do you get the power? So I mean when you say a squared is x to the 4, a is half of this power. So what is half of this power? X squared, right? So this is x squared square, and this is 2 square. X squared square minus 2 square. So like this, all right? So then a minus b, a plus b, right? You're going to do it. So if you write down like this, it's much easier. Then substitute. So x squared minus 2, x squared plus 2. Make sense? Good. And just look at the third example. This is also both of them squares. But if you compare with the number 2, right? This is minus, this is plus. Difference, sum. If it is sum, it's not factorable. You can, if you put it into the calculator, right? In this case, you cannot put into the calculator, let's say x squared plus 4. Then you will see the graph. If it is x squared plus 2 squared, you put into the calculator, you will see that you cannot factor. So x squared plus y squared, don't do that x plus y, x plus y. It's not like this, okay? It's not factorable. X plus y times x plus y is x squared plus 2xy plus y squared if you fail, right? So just remember, you should know how to verify the answer. All right, so everybody understand? Okay, then so I want you to find out the error, identify the mistakes, and then correct them. So if you remember how to factor the function which has the third degree cubic function, the x to the third power, x cubed, and then 4 terms, right? So factor by grouping, Veronica factored by grouping. So first 2 terms, x squared times x plus 3. This one minus 1, x plus 3. Is it correct? Correct, right? Then you have a common here, x plus 3 common. It's okay. You change the order, right? Because it's for multiplication. If you change the order, what? Commutative property, right? So x plus 3 is a common here, but in the other factor, what do you do? X squared minus 1 come here. And then x squared minus 1. Is it factorable? Yes. Just remember, 1 square is the same with 1. So 1 can be 1 square. Also, 1 to the third power can be 1 also. Just 1 to the any power becomes 1. Just remember, please. Then x squared minus 1 is x squared minus 1 square, same thing. Or you can use the Kim's method, doesn't matter. So x squared minus 1 is x minus 1 times, not the x minus 1, right? A minus b, a plus b. So x minus 1, x plus 1. This was the error. All right, so if you correct it, it'll be like this. You understand? Okay, we will be done here.